Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. As you will have seen in the past year, I have backpacked through Central America for 4 months, and by now I've also backpacked through Southeast Asia for 4 months, divided over 2 periods. However, I only went to the mainland of Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. Central America and Southeast Asia are definitely the most popular regions in the world to go backpacking and backpacking solo. So if you are still unsure whether you should go to one or the other, especially if it's going to be your first trip, then definitely keep watching this video because I will talk you through all the differences but also the similarities between backpacking Central America and Southeast Asia, including the difference in cost. Let's get into it. Let's start with accommodation. In general, accommodation is way better in Southeast Asia. I think Southeast Asia has been on the market as a touristy destination for quite a bit longer than Central America, which means that it is way better established. But the hostels in Southeast Asia are by far probably the best hostels in the world. You have hot showers, you have curtains on your bed to give you some privacy, there's plugs that you can use at your bed, the aircon is on for most of the day or even all day, but they don't usually have a kitchen that you could use, and breakfast is also not always included. Comparing this to Central America, which is a lot more basic with no hot showers, except for maybe Guatemala, I got some hot showers, which is good because it also gets a lot colder up there, and Mexico is also a lot better developed. But in the rest of Central America, I did not have a hot shower. Also, having curtains is a luxury in Central America. Not a lot of the dorm rooms actually have curtains on the beds. AC is also not available in every single hostel, and often it is only switched on from a certain hour in the evening until a certain hour in the morning. So not all day long, and you have to be lucky to even have AC because a lot of the time it's just the fans, and they put like a little fan on every single individual bed, or sometimes it's one big fan and you have to be lucky for the fan to reach your bed. So it's a bit tricky when it comes to AC and cooling down, especially because Central America was probably the hottest region I have been so far. When it comes to food, you can find street food everywhere in Southeast Asia, and I love street food so much. It's one of my favorite things. You can find street food in Central America, but it is a lot harder to come by in the south of Central America. You can find it more easily as of Nicaragua going north. So El Salvador and Honduras, you will have the pupusas and the baleadas, which I love so much, and then Guatemala and Mexico, they have a proper street food culture, but Panama, Costa Rica, not as much. In both regions, rice is really popular. In Central America, it's rice and beans, and in Asia, it's lots of rice and noodles. When it comes to activities, Central America is all about volcanoes, hiking, and surfing. I would say scuba diving as well, because you have some of the best scuba diving in the world in Central America, and I spent 1,000 euros on scuba diving all over the place. But I also got my advanced open water certificate. I got that certificate in Honduras, which is one of the 2 least expensive places in the world. The other one is in Thailand on Koh Tao, where I did my open water certificate. So I've gone to both places, which are the most popular places to learn, but I still prefer Koh Tao in Thailand. I wouldn't necessarily go back to Honduras anytime soon. When it comes to volcanoes and hiking and surfing, I think you must go to Indonesia. I haven't been there yet, but it looks like you can find a lot of similar activities there compared to Central America. In Central America, I fell in love with the Caribbean islands. The San Blas Islands, Bocas del Toro, Caye Caulker. Honestly, I lost my heart in the Caribbean. When it comes to islands in Southeast Asia, I highly recommend the islands of Thailand, but also the Philippines looks absolutely incredible. Maybe I should go there this year. When it comes to transportation, scooters are a popular mode of transportation in both areas. You can rent them, they are usually pretty cheap, and it's easy to get around that way. If you prefer getting a taxi, then Uber is the one in Central America. Not everywhere. There are often tuk-tuks and even bike taxis, and with bike I mean bicycle. In Southeast Asia you have Grab, which is the general taxi app to use, and like Uber, on Grab you can also order food. When it comes to long distance transportation, Asia is way better. The quality is way better in Central America. You will go on chicken buses, minivans. The quality of the buses is quite bad, and also the distances, the length, you always have to travel during the day. I was so fed up with traveling in Central America after 4 months, which In Southeast Asia, it doesn't even feel like you're on the road because you can do it by night, you do it comfortably. There is nothing like traveling long distance in Asia, and I wish we had this in Europe and other places in the world. In Asia, you also have a general booking website, which is called One2Go. Any bus, anywhere you can find on this website. Also trains, like night trains, ferries, everything is on there, whereas in Central America, there is no general website that combines all of this knowledge. You can go on Rome to Rio to check the modes of transportation between different places, but your main information point is going to be your hostel reception. You can book shuttles through there, but the shuttles tend to be quite a bit more expensive than public transportation. Public transportation is an option, but you will have to change buses quite a lot, although there is always someone in the station to get you from one bus to the next, which is really nice. You don't really see this as much in Asia. I would say yes, it's possible to travel Central America with public transportation, which will be cheaper, but it isn't always very clear. When it comes to the area being social, I kind of missed the social atmosphere in Central America a bit. I don't know if it's because I didn't go to the right places. I think I did because I did go to the biggest hostels, but I felt like a lot more couples and friend groups were traveling, maybe because Central America has a bit more of a sketchy reputation as to not being safe for solo travelers, which I did not experience at all. But in general, it didn't seem like a lot of people were really traveling solo, which also changed the atmosphere a bit. And there aren't as many parties going on in Central America. You have Filthy Fridays in Bocas del Toro and Sunday Fun Day in Nicaragua. Oh, the Treehouse Party. That was a good one. In Granada. It's always parties that you have to pay a lot of entrance into. The drinks are pretty cheap, but still it's a different kind of socializing compared to Southeast Asia, where there's a party around every corner. A lot of activities are group activities, and the hostels are super social with lots of solo travelers. And to me, it was a different vibe. When it comes to the nationalities that are traveling, a lot of Australian surfers and hikers are in Central America. I don't know if it's because it's close, but Southeast Asia is close as well. But yeah, surfers, you'll find a lot of them in Central America, and I didn't expect to see that many Australian people. In Panama, there were a lot of Germans, and Dutchies are pretty much everywhere. There seems to be kind of a Swedish community in Costa Rica, especially Santa Teresa. These are just some interesting observations. In Southeast Asia, there are a lot more people from the UK, a lot of Europeans as well, but especially people from the UK that are going to Australia to do their working holiday. A lot of the people you'll meet along your travels are going to end up in Australia eventually. Let's talk about the cost of traveling both areas now. Southeast Asia is definitely cheaper. I spent 37 euros a day on average, which includes accommodation, transportation, activities, even a drink here and there, and also food. This is excluding my flights. But then I heard that the Philippines can be more expensive, but I haven't been, so I can't comment on that. Central America is a bit more expensive, especially countries like Costa Rica, Panama. They are a bit more expensive. If you want to see my cost breakdown for every single country individually, then definitely check out my Central America guide or even my guides for Costa Rica and Panama. But on average, I spent 46 euros a day in Central America, which is a difference of 10 euros. Mostly because the accommodation is a bit more expensive, transportation with the shuttles also a bit more expensive, and in general the activities as well. However, countries like Nicaragua and Mexico can definitely be traveled on the same budget as Southeast Asia. Once again, the 46 euros is excluding flights and excluding the dives, because if I do include the dives, that's an extra 10 euros a day. I spent 1,000 euros on diving, but that's just a personal hobby of mine, and it was all once in a lifetime dives that I wouldn't have wanted to miss out on. But yeah, that's just priorities. When it comes to communication in Central America, you will need to know a bit or a lot of Spanish. You can go to Guatemala to Lake Atitlan to stay at a host family and do some Spanish classes. I could have done this, I guess I could have, but my Spanish level is just quite advanced already, so I didn't do it. But if you could start with that and make your way south, I would highly recommend it. In Southeast Asia in general, the people that you will get in touch with all speak English. So if you speak English, then you will be fine in Southeast Asia. With all that being said, I do believe that Southeast Asia is the best region for first-time backpackers and solo travelers. The value for money, the quality you get is just better in Southeast Asia. But if it's adventures that you're looking for, and everything being a little rougher and a bit more of adventure to get from point A to point B, then I highly recommend going to Central America. They have some of the best hiking and wildlife. It's just stunning. That is it for my comparison between Central America and Southeast Asia. I do look forward to seeing even more of Southeast Asia, Indonesia and the Philippines, but I will make separate guides for both of those countries when I finally get to it. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, then definitely give this video a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming videos, like videos from Indonesia and the Philippines. Who knows when? Might be sooner than I even think. Subscribe to my channel and follow along for more interesting videos. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!